Yo, welcome back to the channel today. So season 14 of Battlegrounds has just ended a couple of days ago. The rewards are just dropped as well, so I'll be doing my rewards opening soon. But I was just finishing off the strats and stats for season 14, so we'll go through those now. I'll go through my bans, opponent bans, win-loss ratio, how I won and how I lost on the victory trap meta, weeks 1 and 2 Gladiator Circuit, and then 3 and 4 as well. I did quite a lot of matches this season. I think I did, in fact I could tell you actually, 1 second, 89 matches. So I think that's probably my most busy season of Battlegrounds. But we'll go through that anyway, step by step. So firstly, we'll go through victory tracks. So we'll go through the buffs first. So we have the attacker buff all season, which is the offensive DOT champs applies a damaging effect. So every time an offensive DOT champ applies a damaging effect with a duration, they gain a 50% vicious buff lasting 20 seconds. Max stacks are 5. So this is for damaging passives and burst effects as well. So I didn't utilize this too much. There was obviously a few obvious ones to use this with, but in victory trap meta, not all of them were applicable. So yeah, we'll go through that anyway. But then the defender buffs had polka dot power. So attack against no power from landing or receiving attacks. Instead, they're granted 12% of a power bar per second while the defender is suffering from damaging effect. So I didn't mind this one actually. It was pretty good. So obviously there's a lot of defenders who shred debuffs and stuff like that, so those are quite key, or having defenders that had immunities, so you can obviously apply them as well. They were quite key as well. But I quite like the meta as well, to be fair. And then we have power shield as well, so the attackers basic attacks deal no damage but still generate power, and the special attacks deal 400% more damage. So the attackers basic attacks deal no damage but generate power wasn't true, because you didn't generate power from basic attacks, you only got power from polka dot power. So but obviously the whole point of it was the power shield. So so basically you couldn't deal no damage unless you was doing DOT and then special attacks. So if you had a defender down where you couldn't do no DOT damage to them, effectively you couldn't do no damage other than using your striker, because that gets around it somehow. But all in all, I quite like the meta, to be honest. I went through it pretty quickly, to be fair. I think I had 2 losses in victory track, so we'll go through that soon. But first of all, let's go through bans. So our biggest ban on here was Future Ant-Man. Banned him 18 times. I just don't like fighting the guy, to be fair, and it was just an easy ban. Plus with the power shield meta, it was near on impossible to get him down unless you was doing some real serious damage over time. But obviously with the glancing and stuff like that, he was just a menace on defense. So it was quite an easy ban, to be fair. And then next up we had Zemo. I didn't really want to ban Zemo that much, but there wasn't too many counters to him. I figured out Dragon Man was pretty good towards the end actually. But again, he shrugged off his DOT, so it wasn't exactly ideal, but he had the power gain over time. Used Toad for him mostly, but because people was running Kingpin and Zemo and who else, like Jabari, Shield, Mole Man in defense, people were just banning my Toad a lot, which we get to anyway. So I was just banning Zemo's, to be fair, and it worked out quite well for me. But he was just an absolute pain unless you had someone who could stick the debuffs. So that kind of made sense. Next up we had Kingpin and Domino. Again, banning Kingpin for the same reason as banning Zemo. Domino, there just wasn't many counters, to be fair, to Domino this season other than Shuri, so if I see a big one I'd tend just to get rid of it. Onslaught, that's an obvious ban. He's an absolute pain to fight in defense. I still haven't got the SP1 decks down. I'm nowhere even close to getting that down, so maybe I should start fighting him more to practice, but I just didn't want to deal with him. And on attack, he was just so powerful as well, like 1 SP2, 40 seconds or so and everything was dead. So there's no point trying to compete with him, because he was just so quick against pretty much any champ, because his DOT no one's immune to it. So it made sense for people to be running him, obviously. Ghost as well, that's another one who doesn't need DOT, because she gains her power through when people miss. So again, I get my words out. I banned Ghost because she was just too powerful. I've only got mine rank 3, so I wasn't running her as well, so it made sense to ban her. And then Guillotine 2099. Again, a couple of immunities. You have to heavier to deactivate the miss mechanic from her as well. She was just a bit of a pain. Dooms, I think I just banned a couple of those because there was Ascended and maybe there was people's top champs. Lady Deathstrike, again, she was great with power shield mode. Unless you armor broke her, which weren't many champs who were capable of doing that with this meta and how it worked. She was just great on defense and obviously great on attack as well because she was a good domino counter. Well, not that I was running domino anyway, but either way. A couple of bans for Symbiote Spidey. Pretty big pain on defense, especially with the buff immune champs not being very ideal. Again, Void, Maestro for obvious reasons. Tuma, not too many counters there. Thing, similar, but there was a couple of champs that did work on attack against Thing. But fine. Again, AA, maybe people had Ascended one, so I just banned them too. And then Mole Man as well. And then singular bans for I-Bomb, CGR, Mysterio, Penny Parker, Chill, Ebony Moore, Black Widow, Deadly Origin, Spot, Jessica Jones, Terax, Jabari, Gallon, Black Cat, Photon, and Torch. So that goes through my bans there. So go through opponents' bans. Why this hasn't stayed where I put it earlier, I don't know why. So opponents bans, big bans were Kushala and Maestro. My Maestro is only 7-star rank 1, but my Kushala is 7-star rank 2. She was incredible on attack if she weren't banned, so I guess that's why people were banning her. She worked for pretty much any champion, unless they were buff immune. If they're buff immune, Kushala's useless, but there wasn't too many of them on defense, so she was great, but again, she was banned a lot, which is a recurring theme this season. Next up was Killmonger. He's my 7-star rank 3, obvious ban. He's absolutely a menace on defense, especially with the polka dot power node, because he's going to be getting a lot more power. So that made sense. Werewolf and Photon. Photon's rank 5, Werewolf's rank 4. Again, obvious bans, Photon defense. Werewolf was just absolutely incredible on attack this season. In Victory Track, it was pretty much 1 SP2 when you're dead, even a rank 4. Mine's only Sig 1, but rank 4, it was just destroying everything pretty much in 1 SP2. Tiger and Toad. So again, Tiger was just great on attack. Again, obvious reasons. 1 SP2 and pretty much everything was gone as well. Toad, again, he was very, very good on attack. So he got around pretty much most of the skill defenders. Well, all of them to be fair. But again, he got banned for those kind of reasons. He was pretty good on defense sometimes too, being poison immune and just being able to poison people. It just catches people up from time to time. It's got 5 bans for Archangel, Shuri, Scorpion, and Viv Vision. Again, kind of obvious bans really. AA just kind of shut down the node most of the time. With his DOT, and then when he's using the special attacks, the DOT just kind of like boosted up massively. So he was great. Again, Shuri, she's tactic, so she was decent too. Obviously, mine's 6-star rank 5 ascended. AA's only rank 4. Scorpion's rank 5 ascended as well. Again, obvious attacker. Again, pretty much 1 FP2 dead, but he can apply all kinds of immunities. Pretty much everyone's. There's only I think 2 champs who are immune to rupture. And that Scorpion himself and Lady Deathstrike can be. So he got around pretty much every single champion, which was great. And then Viv Vision as well. She was mainly defense because she's a bit of a pain. She did kind of work on attack, but was super slow because she could only gain 10% of a bar of power whenever she consumes one of a solar energy. So you had to do that basically 10 times. So basically 10 5-hit combos to get in 1 bar of power. And then when you got to that point, you need to hope you had 5 solar energy because that's the maximum you can have unless you're using an SP2. But then 1 SP1 was killing people in one go because it was just that good with the 400% extra damage. So she did work on attacking on occasion, but not ideal. But she was mainly for defense. She's 6-star rank 5 ascended too. Couple of bans for Torch and Kindred. Kindred obviously on defense. He was only rank 4 at the time. And again, Torch. He was. Excuse me. Rank 4 for this part of the season. I ranked 5'd him. I think it was about halfway through the season. I can't remember exactly when, but it did go to rank 5. 3 bands of Sunspot, again, mine's 7-star rank 2. Again, it was just rinsing absolutely everything. And a couple of bands, single bands for Hulk, being 7-star rank 3, who was just tanky on defense. Emma Frost with her immunity, she was pretty decent too. And then one for Hulkling as well. So that loads up the opponent's bands. So it goes through win-loss ratio. So in Victory Track, I won 29 out of my 30 fights and I only lost 2. So again, that just shows you how much I was enjoying it, you know, especially when you're winning. You know, obviously it makes sense really, but you know, when you're winning or succeeding in something, you're going to enjoy it a little bit more. So, you know, 93.5% win rate was pretty damn good. Couldn't really complain. A couple of matches I lost. I can't remember them too much, but I think it was more than likely down to draft. Not necessarily the playing bad side of things, because if I had options, then they tended to work, and I kind of played it quite well with my bans and my my draft whenever I could. I made sure I had options for everything and tried to make sure they didn't have options for everything. So that's kind of why I think it works so well. So yeah, pretty decent win-loss ratio there. So how I won my matches, I got 2-0, 19 out of the 29 times, and I won 2-1, 34.5% of the time, or 10 out of the 29. So basically, I won nearly 2/3, and lost just over 1/3. So yeah, pretty good on the ratios there as well. Quite happy with those. And then how I lost my 2 matches. One of them was 2-0, one of them was 2-1. So that's, you know, that's cool. Can't complain. You know, a bit of each, but that's fine. So next we go on to the Gladiator Circuit weeks 1 and 2. So the buffs on here, they're all exactly the same other than Hurt Locker. So using the same type of special attack twice in a row, gives the attacker a delay blast for 5 seconds, which may be removed by landing a heavy attack. If the blast expires, the attacker takes 50% of their health as direct damage. So that's pretty important. I did forget that a couple of times, but it didn't prove out to be a massive issue. But again, you know, I really enjoyed this meta. Yeah, probably one of my favourite metas, to be fair. And you'll probably see why when I go through the win-loss ratio on this one as well. So we go through my bans first. Biggest ban was Domino. I did 12 matches in Battlegrounds weeks 1 and 2, so she was banned half the time. Again, just weren't really encounters, so the people running like 7-star rank 3s, it just kind of made sense to. Ghost, again, obvious reasons. I wasn't running Ghost and she was just too good. A couple of bans for Onslaught, Black Widow, Deadly Origin, Atuma, Kingpin, and Sunspot. I guess it was 7-star rank 3 Sunspots. That's probably why I was banning them. If it was rank 2, I wasn't banning them because I've got one myself. And then singular bans for Werewolf, Maestro, Quicksilver, Photon, Fantman, Future Ant-Man. Only one ban in this meta. I don't know why there was so many in the last one, but you know, it was what it was. Wong, Kindred, Xeno, Black Cat, Mangog, Spider Pig, Hulklid, Spot, Archangel, Moleman, and Void. So those are my bands. Opponent bans, again recurring theme, Kushala. She was banned 8 out of the 12 times, so again, pretty popular ban there. It's because people don't have her, that's why. And being 7-star rank 2, she was obviously very, very good. Bans with Sunspot as well, again being 7-star rank 2, nuking most people 1 SP1, 1 SP2, it was just so good. Toad and Killmonger, again, you know, Killmonger for defense made sense. Toad for attack, again, people running skill decks, you know, tended to ban him, you know, which again makes sense too. Bans for Photon there. Couple of bans for Tiger, Scorpion, and Werewolf, and singular bans for Maestro, Emma, Korg, CGR, Vision, and Kindred. So we go through the win-loss ratio. I did 12 matches and I won them all. So I guess that kind of explains why I like this meta so much. And think about it now, it kind of annoys me because I had time to push in this meta. So when I finished these 12 wins, I think I was 1-0 away from Celestial 5. I was in Celestial 6, and that's the highest I've ever been in the history of playing Battlegrounds. And I should have just pushed really, but and I can't really explain why. Maybe it was just nerves or something. Maybe I just didn't want to push too much too early, I suppose, because obviously the rewards and where you finish, you know, matters on week 3 and 4. But if it was the other way around, if this meta was on week 3 and 4, I definitely would finish a lot higher. Because I feel like I had it nailed down and had a really good deck for it too. But either way, you know, it's, you know, hindsight's a beautiful thing, but that's fine. But yeah, so yeah, you know, won all the matches. I only did 12, but won them all, so very happy with that. And then how I won the matches, I won 10 of them 2-0 as well, and then 2 of them 2-1. So again, with the win-loss ratio being, how I won ratio being so high as well, it just showed how well I did in the meta. Again, it's not bragging or boasting. It's just, you know, these are facts. These are numbers, and it shows how well I did. But I did a couple of streams on my channel as well. I think the first 4 matches and the last 5 were on stream. So if you want to watch those back, you can do. I had some pretty cool matches on there. I ranked 5 Blade at that point as well, and he was an absolute demon. I used him a few times against a couple of Jessica Joneses. She can be a pain to fight. You know, he was great for those. And then I took down a rank 3 Hulk with Blade, and I think 41 seconds. Just absolutely destroyed him. That was really fun. And next one I would go through was how I lost, but obviously I didn't lose any, so I don't have to go through that graph, so happy days. Right, so let's go on to weeks 3 and 4. So this one I wasn't a massive fan of. Again, I had the red scare. So this had Safeguard, prevents the defender from losing more than 1% health from any source while being struck or blocking hits. So again, this is obviously prevented to slow people down, which it, you know, it did. And then at the start of the fight, we had the stun and reflection node. The defender receives a permanent stun shield. While the shield is active, the defender can't be stunned. Every time a stun is attempted, the attacker is stunned instead for 3 seconds. The shield will go into cooldown for 8 seconds when a defender is infected with either a poison or incinerate. While this is active, the attack against 40% attack. So the 40% attack, it was almost irrelevant because it was Safeguard, but I guess the DOT damage was increased from that. I didn't really check it and check the numbers and stuff, but I assume it was, so fine. And then the Adamant Axim, though, the effects of questionnaires cannot have their ability accuracy modified. So this was changed to Force of Will because when this launched, it was broken. So Force of Will essentially, I can't really get that terminology of it, but I think it just means like you. The champions can't be affected by ability accuracy. So essentially Tigra, Wick and Black Cat were absolutely useless, absolute duds on attack. So it did change it a little bit. So that was kind of annoying, but you know, it was what it was. But yeah, I mean, the main issue for me was stunning reflection. I accidentally parried so many times, or I didn't think I parried, but I did, or because when I dashed back, I used my left thumb, which is obviously the one to block, and I guess I'm just pressing it at the wrong time and just accidentally parrying people and getting stunned and getting wrecked. So yeah, it wasn't too fun for me. We'll go through the stats of my win-loss ratio later on, but let's go through my bans. So again, hot ban, Future Ant-Man, just didn't want to deal with him. A lot of people running ascended ones, and at this point I was flirting around Celestial 6, Mysterium 1, pretty much the whole of these 3 and 4 weeks. The 3rd and 4th week. So a lot of people were running Ascended Future Ant-Man, banned him quite a lot. Onslaught, again, every man and a dog who had an Onslaught had him ranked up high, so that was just instant ban. Bullseye, this guy is absolute clown. I think he's one of the worst designed champs to come to MCOC. And that's just being salty, and that's not being salty because I don't have him. I just think he's a terrible champ to fight. Like, even if you're bleeding immune, I've fought him a couple of times. I used Viv Vision once because she was bleed immune, and I knew I'd be able to get him down okay. But just the block damage you take, it was just unreal. I mean, her block proficiency isn't great, so she was going to take some damage, but it was just way too much. I think I fought a rank 3 one, and I took like 35% chip damage. It was just beyond crap, and I think I fought him with a Kate once, and didn't do so great neither. But the times I did fight him, it was a loss. So I thought, this is no point. I'm just going to ban him. Even rank 3 ones, couldn't be bothered. Instant ban. After I tried him a couple of times. So yeah, terribly designed champ. Hopefully he gets changed because he's just terribly designed. And then photons, I wasn't banning photons pretty much most of the season, but in this meta, I just struggled. So I tended to ban her if I felt it was necessary, if, depending on who else I had. Because if people had Bullseye and Onslaught, they were 2 instant bans. Future Ant-Man, I think I slowed down towards the end banning him because I was banning Photons instead. Also banning Maestros. I had issues with Maestro. If I had Kate, it was fine. I could get like 49, 50,000 points sometimes. No, not 50. I think 49,500 points. If I had Kate, perfect. But again, my Kate was getting banned quite a lot. And then there just wasn't many options. Again, there's no Tigra. Again, my Kushala was getting banned a lot, so I didn't have her. I tried using Scorp a couple of times, and the AI is just garbage because you charge your heavy to get him to run in, and they just stand there and like tap block and stand right in your face, and it was just unreal. You can watch back to streams if you got time and see me getting stressed and salty over it. So I banned a lot of Maestros towards the end. A few bans for Jessica Jones. Again, with not being able to parry, she was just a menace because, again, I had Blade, but I couldn't parry with Blade, so, he was no good. And obviously, if you throw your specials to get debuffs, then she's, going to go unblockable, unstoppable, and it was just, I just, if there was a large one, I tended to ban her. Werewolf, people like big werewolves, I tended to ban those because they were, again, very decent on attack. Domino, again, obvious reasons, although, Nimrod did work in this matter. There's normally 2 SP2s and you took a lot of block damage as well, and you can obviously parry to get your armor up, so a bit slow on the Domino, so I banned those 2. Quicksilver's just not a massive fan of fighting him, banned him a few times. A few bans for Nick. I got him down in the end, to be honest, if I had options for Nick. Venom was my favourite Nick killer. I think my best time was, just over 60 seconds with my rank 2 Venom against a 6-star rank 5 Ascended Nick, so in this matter, that was pretty damn good. I banned a few Icemen because they was Ascended. Gallons, I banned those 2, again, if it was Ascended or depending on what options I had. Guillotine 2899, again, a bit of a pain on defense with the meta, not being able to parry, just meta to ban her. Rank 3 Shuri banned as well, a couple of bans for Hercules. And then Chavez as well, that's something that stressed me out as well. Whenever I fought a Chavez, she would just throw heavy attacks just wildly, like out of nowhere, just heavy attack, and I just couldn't control her power. I got absolutely wrecked. And then whenever I placed mine, she got rinsed, absolutely rinsed by Nick Furies, Scorpions. It didn't matter. It just didn't matter who you used. She got rinsed. So I just got fed up, started banning Chavez's towards the end as well. A couple of bans of Massacre, there was Ascended, Big Ebony Moors, Penny Parkers, Sassies, and Pig. And then single bans for Zemo, Wong, Korg, Mr. Negative, The Hood, Havoc, Void, Kindred, Vox, Atuma, Kingpin, and Silk. So opponent bans, again, recurring theme, Kushala. 26 out of my 46 fights she was banned, so over half the time she was banned. Pretty damn annoying, but again, from their point of view, it's a great ban. It really is. So again, that made sense. Killmonger, again, being rank 3, 7-star, obvious ban. Toad, again, he was massively banned. At this point, he was 6-star, rank 5, and Ascended. He's been rank 5 all season. I think I ascended him halfway through the season, or maybe towards the beginning of the season. It may have been all of it, I can't remember. But either way, obvious ban there for people running skill decks, and again, he was clutch on defense as well. He saved me a couple of times on defense. So again, people didn't have options for him. I trapped a guy with 3 skill champs left at the end, and I placed Toad. He went in with Kate, and before I finished my fight against Nick Fury with Absman, he dipped. That was funny. I think that was on stream as well. Kate got banned a lot of the time too. That was kind of annoying because she was obviously so good, but again, made sense for people to ban her. Vision as well got banned a lot of the time. She was very, very good for the meta because when she parries, she phases. So obviously, they make no contact, they miss. So you wasn't getting stunned. So it was an easy in to get the parry, not take any damage. Well, again, not to get the parry, to get to activate the miss. And SP2 burst damage was going through the safeguard node. So again, perfect. Same with the SP1. The burst damage with the incinerates was going through that as well. So she was very, very good. Again, got banned a lot of the time. So as you can see, most people banned those 5 champs. So Kushala, Killmonger, Toad, Kay, and Viv. got the majority of my bans, which for me very annoying, but obviously for them makes total sense. So that's just how the game works. Kindred got a few bans. I took him to rank 5. No, I ascended him first, and then I took him to rank 5 in the last maybe week or so of the season. So he got a few bans, being ranked 5 and ascended. He's a pretty nasty defender. I think every time I placed him, he got me a win. So obviously that just proves his worth. I know he's a 7-star now, but the awakened ability is very much key for him. So that was great. He did really well for me. A few bans for Absorbing Man, again, makes sense. He was great. He was actually usable on attack in weeks 3 and 4, so he was perfect with the Incinerate to get around the node to deactivate and do the extra burst Incinerate. It was very, very good. A few bans for my Werewolf, my Photon, my Diablo. I got the 7-star Sig 40, so I took him to rank 2. So he got banned a few times, makes sense. Shuri got banned being rank 5 ascended. A couple of bans for Tiger still. I just chucked her in the deck anyway because I didn't really have any options, and I used on defense a couple of times and she wasn't actually terrible. Just getting people not being able to parry, I guess she pushed them into the wall. A couple of bans for Maestro. Spider-Gwen, she came in clutch for me a lot of the season as well. On defense, she was actually really handy. Again, depending on who people use for her. And then a couple of bands for Torch, and single bands for my Titania, Scorpion, Wiccan, Chavez, Venom, Elsa, and one for Blade as well. So that goes through the opponent bands. Win-loss ratios, I did 46 fights, I won 25, lost 21. So gained a few points, but it was a rough matter. So if you go back to the previous one, what was it? I won 12 and 0, and then in Victory Track it was 29 and 2, and then this one is very much almost 50-50. So this was a struggle. Not gonna lie, it wasn't easy, and I just wasn't as comfortable in the first 2 metas as I was in this one. Again, as I said, if it was weeks 1 and 2 was the weeks 3 and 4 meta, then I 100% would have done better. 100% would have done. But it was what it was. I gained a few points, but ultimately it was enough to get me where I wanted in the season, which I'll go through in a second. And then how I won, again, pretty even on here with the 2-0s. Slightly, one more 2-0 than I had 2-1. 13 to 12. And then how I lost, I got 2-0'd 7 times. And 2-1 14 times. So I mean, that was not really a saving grace. A loss is a loss, it was what it was, but at least it felt not as bad to get 2-0'd. But with these as well, a lot of the 2-1s I had was I was losing the first round, winning the second, losing the third. I was starting off terrible. If I would have won half the first rounds, I would have won so many more matches this meta. But it is what it is. You can't change that kind of thing, so it's fine. But yeah, so that goes through the season. So I'll quickly go through. Let's go off the screen. Where is it? So I'll go through the rewards quickly to show you where I was. So we made top 10% in Alliance. We always do that, so that's fine. Through the solo event, I finished 5,000. I think I had 330,000 points. Nothing too crazy. Once I got to 300,000, I was just using energy. And then we finished 411. So that was Mysterium 2. I'll go through that in my next video, which will be the rewards opening. So I'll do that in a second. I'll probably post rewards opening first, but we'll see. But yeah, so that's where I finished in the season. I'm really happy with it, to be fair. It was just slightly annoying where I was so close to being Celestial 6 on the last day, the last couple of days, and I think, on my last stream I lost 5, won 3, so that was rough. And then the day before that I won 2 and lost 3. But last couple of days I lost a lot more than I won, and that's what really knocked me down. But it was fine. I mean, finishing Mysterium 1, 2 or 3, it's almost irrelevant. You get a few extra the trophy tokens, an extra like 5,000 per rank. So the main thing is we've got the Titan shards and the 7-star shards. So I'll have enough for a 7-star to open on my next video, so we'll do that. But yeah, thanks for watching the Strats and Tats video. This one's been a bit long, half an hour. If you watched all of it, then I do appreciate it. It really is helping the channel. But I like doing this kind of thing at the end of the season just to break down my thoughts on it. and go through my bands, their bands, you know, win-loss ratios, that kind of stuff. I think it's quite interesting. I quite like it. I'm a numbers guy, so it does interest me, so hopefully it interests you. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already. Again, do appreciate it. Yeah, stay tuned for the rewards opening. I'm not sure which way around they'll come, but we'll see. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Take care, and until next time. Thank you.